Welcome back, friendlies, to another retro review. Today I'm doing Devil May Cry 2, and I'm doing something a little different today. Today I have my friend Graham on the show to help me do the review.
How's it going?
I figured if I'm going to do a Devil May Cry review, I might as well do it with somebody that, I know that's a huge Devil May Cry fan. You're like the only friend I have that is.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of a niche thing for a lot of people for some reason.
Yeah. So I originally beat Devil May Cry 1 very long ago. I stayed at my uncle's house, and then me and my brother stayed up all night and went through it. I've dabbled in the games, the franchise since then, but I've never finished any of them until this game. When you played Devil May Cry 2, the first time, do you remember how that was?
Yeah, I remember enjoying it quite a bit. It was about 2003, 2004, and my friend at the time, JH, he uh, he would come over and hang out with me, and we play a game called Gungrave. And ironically enough, he told me that Devil May Cry would probably be right up my alley. And at the time, I think Devil May Cry 2 had just came out, and I traded up and managed to get my hands on that, and uh, kind of been a fan ever since.
Yeah, I don't know why I never. I remember renting them all the time back in the day, and they're not very long games, so I don't know why I never finished any of them, other than the first one.
I mean, to be fair, they can be quite challenging. Two probably being why I recommended that one to begin with is the point of entry for the game is a lot easier. Uh, the game does hold your hand a tad bit more than the first game, but in my opinion, it's great for anybody that wants to get into those games.
Yeah, this game was definitely easier than the first game. I mean, granted, I was like probably like 14 or something when I played the first game, so. But so this game, the story starts off as like, from what I got, they don't really tell you a lot, like story stuff. But basically, Dante is invited to an island to help this girl named Lucia, and she wants him to defeat a man named Arius who's trying to like summon this demon to get powers. That's basically what I got from this story.
Yeah, you're pretty much spot on from the beginning of the game. Yeah, you don't really know enough about what's really going on in the beginning of the game. Supposed to be fair, though, the game never really tells you too much because without going down too much of a rabbit hole, the game had a lot of problems in development. So that's why if you see anything that seems out of place or kind of weird or janky, that's mostly a reason why.
Yeah, it definitely felt different than the first one. I did jump back into the first one for a couple hours just to kind of see how that one was.
Yes, they are very much different games. The first three games, to be fair, are very different from one another. Like, if you want to go chronologically, three would be the first one. But if you want like the real progression of what the game came from to where it is now, yeah, starting out at one and going sequentially.
Okay. So in case anybody doesn't know, you get to play as two characters in this game. You get to play as Dante and Lucia. They both seem to have about the same past. I noticed that she had different missions when I played her. Like she had these water missions and stuff. Honestly, though, I enjoyed playing her more. She just I don't know. She just felt better to use than Dante did.
Yes, especially coming from Devil May Cry 1, Lucia is a lot more fluid in her combat. She's a lot more agile. She doesn't do as much damage, but if you can, get her really working really well, she probably is one of the stronger Devil May Cry characters out there.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when I started is that it was harder with her, even the same enemies, because she was doing less damage. But she did that, like right when you start off and you got to collect these orbs to go through this door when you first start playing as her, and it's like right when you start moving around, you can feel like the difference between them and their movements and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. That and another thing is, it, you'll forgive me, but it's been years. Uh, you do get to pick between those two characters, right? Like you don't play certain amount of missions and then switch.
So I'm not sure how the original was, but on the HD, yeah, before you go into it, you get to decide which one. Maybe back in the old day there was like two discs or something. I'm not sure, or maybe you had to beat it with Dante to play as her afterwards.
If I recall correctly, it was a two-disc game. I tend to get my games a little mixed up because Devil May Cry 2, while it was technically the first game that had the two player or the two optional players, it is by far not the only game in the series that allows you to switch characters. The next game after two being four. I mean, three special edition technically, but I mean that's really up to player choice.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like that in her missions she had like the water levels, and then she had the different, like a couple different bosses. The final boss was different for her, but like I don't know, I enjoyed using her. I didn't feel like she got as many red orbs either as Dante did. Like in the same missions as him, I was like, man, I got like 10,000, and I probably had like 30,000 when I was him.
Yeah, uh, I suppose maybe in development they didn't balance the characters all that well. Again, it's been about 20 years since I even really played Devil May Cry 2, but I do remember when I played, uh, I didn't have that much trouble playing as her, but that's probably because my gaming skills were considerably better than they are now. So, yeah.
What are you doing, Granny?
There is one more thing I need to ask of you, son of Sparta. My daughter went to face Arius all by herself. Please, take these and save Lucia.
If it's heads. Your lucky streak continues, Granny.
Yeah, since you mentioned it, we'll go into like the difficulty. Honestly, though, I thought this game was gonna be harder, and I don't know if you remember it from the PS2. Like I said, I'm playing the HD versions, but like some of the enemies, and you notice it a lot with the boss enemies. They'll do their like a couple attacks, but they don't move. They just like stay in their spot. So you can just like go away and just keep shooting at them, and then it'll slowly kill them. Like I did that with like quite a few of the bosses.
Yes, that was definitely something that was brought up when Devil May Cry 3 went into development. That was one of their major concerns was how enemies interacted with you and Dante and Lucia. But long story short, I think a lot of it was down to time crunch. They didn't really have enough time to actually balance around all the characters. Like there's a boss in the game that I distinctly remember being a helicopter on top of a skyscraper,
Yeah,
and
he was a bitch.
yeah, he was like really what showed me at least that this game was pretty unbalanced and unfinished as a whole. Is that you couldn't physically attack him, physical attacks being your strongest damage dealer, or you would actually have to just sit there and light them up with your handgun, shotgun. I don't remember if you had the shotgun by that point or not, but firearms, you actually just had to shoot it until it died, and that was really weird.
Yeah, I think like the biggest pain in that battle was when you were on top of the roof and then he'd shoot you, and if you fell down, you had to climb the damn thing again.
Oh yeah, that was. I don't remember having that much of an issue with that particular thing, but yeah, there was a lot of that in the game as well of yeah, having to backtrack or uh, trying to find your way forward when the game isn't explicitly telling you how to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like I was getting hit way more from the regular enemies, especially like the dudes that throw the little saws, more than I was the bosses. I don't think I even died actually in the game at all. I don't think I died once.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's as far as like the Devil May Cry formula is concerned, it is definitely the easiest of all of them, hands down.
Yeah, I think like the worst boss was definitely that tank because the tank didn't move at all. Like both times that I had to fight the tank, it literally just sits there by the bridge and shoots, and then you get up on it and kill it.
Yeah, that was that was quite a bit of the jank about that game, absolutely.
I guess they rushed it out. Or so this game, it probably took me like 4 or 5 hours to beat it with Dante, and I think it was shorter with her. It was like three. Are all the games about that range? So like I think like the newer ones are a little longer, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Five. It took me around. I, I wasn't really counting the hours, but around 15. Uh, Devil May Cry one. It took me basically a summer because it was uh, while two was my first game. Uh, the very next one for me was Devil May Cry one, and boy, that was really jarring trying to get good at this game after I'd spent about a year playing Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 3, I'm not even going to lie to you, brother. I used cheats in that game. I had to unlock Super Dante. I had to basically play it on easy mode in order to beat it. It is really punishing. But the reason for that being is that in the West, Devil May Cry 3 launched with the default, the normal difficulty is technically the hard difficulty in Japan. That's why the game is so much harder. Is that people were complaining in Devil May Cry 2 it's too easy. So in
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 3 they was like, you know what, you want it, you can have it, and it was definitely a challenge, definitely. In Devil May Cry 4, I love that game. That was probably probably my second favorite in the Devil May Cry series. But yeah, that one. Hopefully, we get around to reviewing that one as well because that one's I love that game. But yeah, overall, the time that it takes to beat the games is basically dependent on how fast you can get through your stages. It could I've seen speedrunners beat the hardest one in my opinion, Devil May Cry 3. I think I've seen somebody beat it in like maybe an hour, where it took me almost a whole summer to do it.
Yeah,
So yeah, it your times vary.
yeah. It's basically just a product of its time because like a lot of games back then were about 8 hours, 6 hours, things like that. And honestly, it feels good to I just got done playing Days Gone, so it feels good to play something that's way easier to get into and you can get through quicker.
For a defect, you show promise. But did you really think you could deceive me? Have you come back to me, Kai?
I'm Lucia. Don't call me Kai.
Then why did you come here? Let me guess. You seek my death.
Die!
Another issue though that was like with like and this is just straight up product of its time is like the camera angles. They could get pretty bad sometimes. And I know a lot of games struggled with this back in the day. Does the camera angles in like 3 and 4 get better, or are you able to actually move the camera?
Oh yeah, 3 and 4 and into 5 camera angles, the lighting, everything is way better than what they had in Devil May Cry 2. Again, not being an apologist for Devil May Cry 2, but it does have a special place in my heart. That being said, yes, there's a lot that, in my opinion, could have done better, but at the same time, we're lucky that we even got Devil May Cry 2. To be honest, if you want to go do any sort of research on that, go ahead. But it had a very troubling development history, and without 2, we don't get 3, we don't get 4, and we don't get 5. So
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
tell by the enemy AI and stuff that this was rushed, and maybe they were just trying to capture something at that time. How long
Yeah,
ago did the
absolutely.
one, like, in between one and two, was it? Do you know? Like, how
I
many
want to say it was
years?
about. I want to say Devil May Cry 1 came out in 2001, and I want to say that Devil May Cry 2 came out in 2003. So realistically, their development time was probably no longer than a year.
Oh, yeah, games used to come out like crazy back then.
Yes. I mean, go
Um,
look at the Resident Evil series.
I do. One thing I do like about these kind of games, though, is like I like when there's like all kinds of hidden stuff, and a lot of time it's like off camera. So I would like go around in like the little city area and stuff like that, and would jump all over the places trying to find like a roof that had orbs or like a secret stage that you can fight. I do enjoy when games like this do that.
Yep. That's kind of a cornerstone of the Devil May Cry series as a whole. Really, is while the game might be linear, there is a lot of collectibles in these games, a lot, and going out of your way to get them will make your playthrough considerably easier. But it is sometimes way more dependent on skill level than it is anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I feel like cause like I might have missed some weapons because like with Dante I'd gotten the three swords and the shotgun and rocket. But with her, I only got one extra sword and then like a bunch of her like underwater weapons and stuff like that, the daggers. So maybe I might
Yeah.
have missed another sword with her.
Well, I might warrant another playthrough at some point.
But like
Yeah.
just overall, like if somebody wanted to get into Devil May Cry like myself, do you suggest that Devil May Cry 2 is a guarantee you have to play, or is it something they could pass on?
Well, that ultimately comes down to preference. If you're looking for a really rich story, something really detailed, uh, you're probably not going to find that here. But if you just want kind of mindless, silly fun without maybe the jovial nature of Dante being altogether intact, I mean, he's mostly dull in this game, of course, but
Son of Sparta, you must repent your sins.
Don't speak. Just die.
uh, I don't know, me personally, again, being the first game, uh, I didn't mind that. I still don't mind it to this day. Now, if I played Devil May Cry 1, it may have been jarring, but I didn't. So, me personally, as a fan of the Devil May Cry series as a whole, yes, play all of them. I mean, they're great. They're fun. The story is really engaging. Don't let 2 dissuade you from really getting into what the story's about because it's really good and there's a lot there. They just didn't really hit it with Devil May Cry 2. But if you was asking me, yes, I would strongly suggest anybody playing it.
Yeah, I could say like even if it wasn't a Devil May Cry game, I don't think it's a bad game to play if it was something else. It is a good game to like just kind of turn your mind off. It's a short game. It ain't gonna take much of your time to go through. I would recommend that people play it too.
That and some of my favorite games are on the shorter end. So, uh, Metal Gear Revengeance, probably a 5 6 hour game, but I mean not to plug another game, but uh, it's they're kind of similar in that way that they're just kind of mindless fun. You don't really take it too seriously. I mean, yes, there are stakes involved, but there's nothing that's going to really blow your socks off. Oh, there's a new demon in town and he's trying to mess stuff up for everybody. And a typical Devil May Cry game. Only Dante doesn't really do his funny stick. That's about it.
Yeah, I definitely like the boss Eris in this game because he looks like a bootleg Hihachi, and then like the final like stage or whatever, he's like sitting around like drinking and shoots at you. It reminds me of like Streets of Rage's boss.
Yeah, they definitely got some inspiration from other games. Devil May Cry 1 being originally a Resident Evil game, but when they did transition into making Devil May Cry more of its own identity, it you can definitely feel the beat 'em up 3D formula really injected into the game. That's what makes the games fun for me anyway. Is going around beating the dog shit out of demons all day. It's like a pretty fun time to me. So yeah.
These kind of games, you can upgrade the things that you want to upgrade, and if you want to, like, I noticed that when I go back to areas, they'll usually like respawn, so you could easily go through and upgrade all the weapons that you want.
Yeah, as far as replay value, yes, there you could probably have most things tidied up by the time that you beat the game. But if you do want to go back and challenge yourself, the harder difficulty is harder. But with all your weapons and whatnot upgraded, the difficulty spike isn't as great. So if you are looking for a challenge when you first pick up Devil May Cry 2, I'm pretty sure the hard difficulty is unlocked by default, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right about that?
No, it unlocked on mine after I beat it.
Okay.
I had to beat
Okay.
it with both characters, and then it unlocked.
Okay. Say 20 years, man. It's been a long time.
Thank you, Graham, for coming on. This is a thumbs up from both of us. I probably will try to do the other Devil May Cry games. I'll probably go to 3. I am excited to see how 3 is. I heard that like 3 and like 4 are the better ones. Thank you for coming on, and I guess we'll catch you later on down the road. If I do 3, I will definitely bring you back on.
Thanks for your you guys' attention, and be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment every once in a while, you guys. It gets pretty quiet down there.
Yeah, even if you hate it, even if you hate me, it still makes me feel good.
Or just say, hey, man, it was cool having another guy on. That would be, just say something nice. Just say something nice.
All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.